This one is for the rookies. It's a crazy time of year for some people, especially the younger gen, finishing the HSC, leaving school, getting a job for 2022. We've got the young guns. Stay tuned because we're going to hear about rookie moments.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Veteran.
Hey, young guns. What's happening?
Good. We're good.
Good,
How are
yeah.
you? How's the drive?
Nice.
Good. That's good. So what are we talking about?
Over to you.
We're being put on the spotlight this morning, Sam. Yeah. We're going through our top rookie moments in our first 6 months in real estate. So, Sam, you've been in the game now for a bit longer than myself, but nevertheless, we've still got our fair share of slip-ups in our first year in real estate.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just be talking about our perspective on things. You know, me and Charlie went to the same school, as well as St. Paul's in Manly, and you know, coming from school into an industry such as real estate, you know, it is a big leap. So I guess we'll be giving our perspectives as well on, you know, the change. So where do we start?
Oh, I'm not sure.
And guys, I do have to give you a big thumbs up and a big pat on the back. The people who are watching, these guys are straight out of school and have the balls to go onto a live real estate channel in the ether and talk about real estate and be just in real estate. And you should be so commended for doing what you're doing. It is such a hard time for you guys. It is such a hard time for people at the moment leaving high school and getting into a different job. So I wanted to sort of unpack that emotion that you guys are going through and have gone through, and also congratulations and pat you guys on the back for it, because it's a big bloody thing to get in front of a camera to talk about real estate when you've just started.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah. And maybe that's the top rookie moment in and of itself, is getting on this live stream when a lot of the time, we don't exactly know like the full extent of what we're talking about. We're learning just as much as anyone watching. Yeah. When we're speaking to people like you and a couple of other senior people here at Novak Properties. So that's definitely one that gets the hand a bit shaky when you're jumping in front of live stream with how many viewers we have, and you don't know the full extent. And you're trying your best to talk, but a lot of the time, some of these little tips, some of these little secrets that you're explaining to us aren't known. So it's really good.
Yeah. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. Yep. So, first rookie mistake that stands out for me, it was my first open. Let's paint the picture. First open, I was with Billy Drury. This is back at the start of the year, back in around the 1st of February, around the beginning, I should say. And yeah, we had this house in DY, stunning. I think it was 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-lock-up garage property. And Billy goes, it was my first week. Billy goes, let's go. I'll show you what to do, show you the ropes a bit, and get your head around doing opens. I said, yeah, no problem, Billy. I'll come with. So we prep everything, get all the keys together, get all the pamphlets, get everything you can think of. We got it all ready. Okay, me and Billy took 2 separate cars, arrived there. We arrived about 15 minutes early, bear in mind. And when I arrived, I saw this big queue of people up the front. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a bit weird. Is this normal? Like lining down the street. And so I thought, well, okay. So I go up, greet everyone. They say, we're here for the open. I look at Billy. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And so then me and Billy go into the property. We open everything up. And Billy goes, I'll man the front. Getting the names in, greeting people, and you come in and talk to everyone about the property. And I've just gone in shock. I'm like, okay, sure. And he's like sort of saying, we've got 2 minutes, come on, quick. And I'm like, Anyway, so end of the story, we got about over 50 groups through, 50 different families coming through.
First open.
Dude. Sam was sweating bricks. It was definitely an experience. But ended up getting at least, I think, on that day. But look, nonetheless, I still remember it to this day. It's my busiest open I've ever done. stress, running around. It was really hot as well. It was in summer. Like, you couldn't make this up, but
that stress, that stress that you guys feel when starting a business, because like setting the stage, 18 years of age, you don't know what you're going to do for work, where you're going to live in your life, who you're going to marry, are you going to have a family? Like, we know every single thing in your life is up for grabs, and you're 18 years of age. We forget, and I know, screw you, Charlie, because Charlie asked if I remembered all that way back. And I was like, what do you mean all that way back? Because it was a long time ago. I was like, what?
Such a vigorous career. It's all blended into one, I assume.
Yeah, but it's big for the young guns. It's big for the rookies, and there are mistakes, and it's okay to make the mistakes, and you don't have to know it all. And I think when you look at people that are established, you just assume that that's where you should be straight away, but there's a path and there's a journey and there's mistakes and there's highs and there's lows all the way along to get there. So it's pretty incredible what goes through the mind of an 18-year-old, the stresses, the highs and lows, and phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, you sometimes forget when you're surrounded by such senior titles, like me and Sam are now here at Novak Properties. You kind of forget that everyone had their own journey to where they were today. They've made the same mistakes you're making. I know myself, when I was first starting off, I was under the impression that some people just got it, and they just didn't make mistakes. They just knew it. They just had it, and like, no matter how young they were, they just had it. And I was under the impression that was something that happened, whereas I don't think it is anymore. I think everyone who's in the industry has had their fair share of mistakes. Because especially with real estate being such an independent, environment, when a lot of the time you are out by yourself making these mistakes without a supervisor looking down at you all the time. You really get that opportunity to learn from these mistakes and progress forward from it, and grow from it, and turn into that enshrined agent that you were always looking at.
No, it's good. Just to reiterate what Charlie's saying a bit, it's the exact same thing. You see all these senior salespeople and yada yada yada. All these high property managers and everything, and you don't realize the behind the scenes and what it took them to get into that position, and all the mistakes and time and energy. It's really good to see that, because it really opens your eyes a bit more to their growth and how they got there.
And look, I think, guys, and for people for the young guns that are out there, and you may choose to share this with someone that that's just getting into a different business, or just getting into coming out of school or something like that. But I think part of that journey is a lot of it's confidence, to actually pick up, dust yourself off, and keep pushing forwards. And a lot of it is common sense, I think, or admission that shit does happen, and you've got to just make sure it doesn't happen again. Because I must admit, as an employer, when you see people make that 5th, 6th, 7th mistake, and it is the same mistake that they've made, it's like, dude, you're never going to learn. But when you see that 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th of that same mistake, you're like, okay. Or you may see it get less and less when it's the 2nd and 3rd mistake behind the first time that mistake's made. But it's okay to make the mistakes, and having that confidence, I think, as a young gun, super important.
Yeah. Oh, what do they say? It's only a mistake if you don't learn from it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well said.
So going back to a bit more of our rookie moments, I'm pretty sure every single agent can agree with us. When it comes to keys, it is horrible. It's your worst nightmare. No one understands the muck around with keys.
It's an art.
If you ask anyone in the industry, they'll tell you a story where they had 10 or 12 groups standing out front of a property. I know it's definitely happened to myself. You've been given a wrong key from a landlord. You've been given a wrong key from a tenant. Either or. A bit of mucking around's gone on, and obviously you haven't labelled these keys.
Yeah.
So you turn up to a property. You got 10 or 12 groups out front. You gotta jiggle the lock, and it's not budging, and you have to turn around and tell everyone, "Hi, look, I know you've turned up, but unfortunately, don't have a key."
And the worst thing is, people take time out of their day to go to the property, and they're excited, keen to. Well, since me and Charlie have been doing rentals, they've been looking at a couple of rentals throughout the day, been leading up to this one rental, this one viewing, I should say, and then they get there, they're seeing this real estate agent, this guy in a suit, muck around with keys. Look like a bit of an idiot, but look, there's only so much you can do. I've rescheduled in the past and things have worked out, but just in that moment, it just doesn't feel so good.
So, guys, you're right in that moment of like you're putting things into perspective. You've left school. You've been you've been in work for 11 months, 18, 19 years of age. What's the one lesson you can pass on to new rookies that are coming into the industry or coming in out of school into anything? What would be because believe it or not, you've got experience now. You're not day one.
I know. We've passed the rookie stage.
Nearly.
You passed the rookie stage, and it's raw. Like I probably don't. I like Charlie was hassling me about forgetting about when I was 18. But what would you pass on if you had to pass something on?
If it had to be anything, and then it's something that Sam helped me a lot with as well, because we were obviously in contact. I knew him before working here, and he helped me along the first couple of week process. But it was definitely be a sponge, and then narrow your mindset as well. Like we were speaking earlier, Mark. If you're a sponge and you're just absorbing everything that's going on around you, the way people are talking, the way things are done, because the first couple of weeks you tend to just shadow people, just definitely picking up on little mannerisms, little behaviors that you can just attribute to your own self. And then once you kind of have that information, you're able to narrow your mindset a bit, and then you can start to work on perfecting little areas, starting to build little parts of the engine before you're always firing on all cylinders.
That's beautiful. Did you hear that, Mark?
It was beautiful, man. It was really beautiful.
Did you cry?
And I was crying. I was waiting for the music to come in at the end. So, guys, where's your moment? Where's your where are you going to leave off, Sam?
Oh, how am I
What can you pass on? What can you pass on in summary to your learnings?
In summary,
for someone that's just about to come at it, yeah.
Just do it. If you're confident, you want to do something with yourself, not sure what you want to do, you love talking to people, you love getting out there, being active, doing something, just do it. But in regards to advice, I'd probably say don't rush in too quickly. Don't rush in too quickly. You want to sort of get your basics first, and get a good grip of your basics instead of just bang, 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 bang. Because not only you'll tire yourself out, but you'll just lose yourself essentially.
It's a fast-paced industry, and you've got to be in it for the long haul. Like you were telling us, you've told us on many occasions, you see too many agents go in head first, firing on all cylinders, way too quickly, and then they simply burn out. And then you just end up hating it, and then there's nothing you can do about it. You want a different career change.
Exactly.
But if it's something that if you really took the time to kind of get down, you could be in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of time and place.
Yeah. What's your advice, Mark?
To the young guns, I think you just nailed it, Sam. I think you've got to work on your craft, and you've got to work on specific. There's so many facets to real estate. Not only is there the different careers, which is property management, sales, and all things associated with those, commercial, residential, support roles, and things like that. But I think bedding your systems down and bedding and understanding the industry, there's probably 10,000 things to learn. and 10,000 things to perfect before you come a super pro at it. And I think a lot of the rookies assume they know those 10,000 things and assume they've perfected those 10,000 things, and then when they go into like a senior sales role too early, they just hate it. You know what I mean? Like, this is shit. This is cutthroat. Don't like it. But they haven't honed in on the craft. So that's my advice. Just spend a lot of time getting everything right before you jump in balls deep.
Yeah. Just to carry on from what you're saying here, like if you're young, just finishing school, a lot of people are finishing HSC, want to start their real estate career. Get into those positions where you build yourself up. As you were saying, getting into those leasing positions, sales, support positions, reception, just getting your foot in the door is probably the best advice I can say. Don't think you have to jump in so quickly and be that really good sales agent. Build yourself up. You'll thank yourself in the long run. I feel like it can be just unneeded stress if you try and rush yourself.
Big time.
So.
Too easy.
Young
Thanks, Mark. Thanks to everyone for watching.
We'll speak soon.
Take care.